Still reviewing Punch, yes.
So I have the story. The federal government can't rely on loans to fund the 2024 budget. That's from the minister. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Awolowo, had submitted yesterday. He was presenting, he was defending, rather, the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper in Abuja to the joint Senate committee scrutinizing the 2020, that particular MTF and FSP. And while he was defending it, he said that Nigeria cannot afford to fund 2024 budget with debt, that to combat inflation, developed countries have increased their interest rate, and a developing country having to fund its budget based on debt would cause issues, that the goal must be to borrow money, to use debt to finance revenue-generating infrastructure. So when you use debt to finance revenue-generating infrastructure, the infrastructure can then finance the economy. He said that there will be need for, his first statement was that there's necessary sacrifices need to be made to generate enough revenue for this economy. And he was saying this when he was also at that defense was FIRS executive chairman, the DG of the debt management office, and it was all to defend why there's need to make a lot of readjustments. They also said that there will be need to sacrifice immediate goal for compacting the economy, and that borrowing, currently with our current borrowing profile, adding more debt is going to be pushing Nigeria into where we don't want to be. But I didn't see, I don't know, it's as if we have different government, because the action of some people does not reflect the fact that there is need for financial prudence in our economy.
So our president participated in the commemoration of Guinea-Bissau's 50th independence anniversary and Armed Forces Day on Thursday. The president, alongside other heads of state and government, joined the festivities in Guinea-Bissau. Tinubu was warmly received by Guinea-Bissau's president, Umaru Embalo, and he said specifically that he would ensure, he's committed to supporting peace and democracy, not only in Guinea-Bissau, but the rest of West Africa and the world. He is expected to return to Abuja. I think he returned yesterday already from his one-week engagement in Saudi Arabia and Guinea-Bissau. Okay. Let's move on now to Daily Sun. FG making progress in fight against insecurity, says Ribadu. Ex-CBN Governor Emefiele for arraignment amid AFCC plans to rearrest. Economic growth hinges on improved public-private infrastructure partnerships, says Shatima. Ojuku's title, Kemba Nnewi, not for sale. IPOB wants Anambra monarchs. Tension in Kano as appeal court delivers judgment today. Obi picks holes in federal government's bankruptcy claim, says government spending behavior contradicts claim. And 22 justices nominated for Supreme Court seats. Okay, your story?
Okay, so I have the Ojuku's title, Kemba Nnewi. IPOB, that's the indigenous people of Biafra, started warning traditional ruler of Nnewi in Anambra State, his son, other cabinet chief members, and sons of Anambra, that they are against selling the Ikemba Nnewi title that belonged to the late Dean Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu. They said that they have heard that they have concluded some plans. The son of the Igwe Nnewi has concluded some plan with some of the cabinet members of the palace to bestow this title on a political money bag who has a governorship ambition within the state. They said they have also informed that money bag of the plans they've been informed that the money bag has plans to use the Ikemba Nnewi title to secure his ambition in upcoming elections after the first term of Governor Soludo. And they said that they are using this opportunity to warn him that what Ikemba Nnewi, the Odumegwu Ojukwu, did is not something that can never be replicated by any sons of Igbo land anywhere in the world. And so his title is something that only him alone should enjoy. The title belongs to the late Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu and to him alone. Okay. You know, I sort of, because of traditional understanding, wondered some of these exclusive titles are usually rotated to the strongest man. So are you saying that after Ojukwu, there's never been, or there would never be?
There might be another person, but the person.
But right now they don't have.
So they warned him. They said that
which is valid.
The traditional kings have become hungry, and they're always selling, their food.
All right. Another story. Let me take
Yes.
Go ahead.
Major headline, federal government is making progress in fight against insecurity, came from the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribalu, and he was speaking at the 18th annual All Nigerian Editors Conference in Uyo. He said the fact that that this present administration inherited a major tough period, like Nigeria is going through a tough period because of the inherited insecurity situation, and appealed that the citizens be patient. He said that he knows that Nigerians are going through a tough time. I'm quoting him that we are not condemning anyone, but that is the truth. Nigeria is going through a tough time, and those who are in charge must say the truth and say it as it is. It is not going to be for long, though. It's in a matter of time, things will get better. He is assured that the president is going to do everything within his power to tackle the insecurity challenges, and he said that the president has given his word, and that they are doing their own part in supporting the president. And he said that he's been by the side of the president and seen how tough what they inherited is, but that is appealing for support from the media, that it will require everyone for this tough time to be overcome. He also spoke about the militancy in the Niger Delta, and that has reduced drastically based on conversations with them. And he said that crude oil production had improved from 1.1 to 1.7 just within when the president came into power. And there are talks been going on with other areas that there's improvements, but we should just be patient and understand that we are going through a tough time for a short while.
Okay, let me take the story from Emefiele. The former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, will today be arraigned before the High Court at the FCT, but amid fears that he might be rearrested by the EFCC. Emefiele regained his freedom back in November 8th after almost 5 months in detention over corruption allegations. Today, once he appears in court, there are speculations that he might be rearrested because some of the competent sources within the EFCC said that he will return to custody. He appears in court today. All right, let's move on quickly now to Vanguard. Editors confirm why kidnapping has replaced armed robbery, says NSA. FGSC okays 22 justices for elevation to Supreme Court. Editors confirm fireworks as stakeholders interrogate national security threats to elections media reforms. Appeal courts declares Zamfara governorship elections inconclusive. Looted funds, we have seized 45 billion naira identified terrorist financiers, says federal government. And wives battered 340 husbands to pulp in 1 year, says Lagos State government.
Should I take that?
Yes,
so
please.
Lagos State government said it has recorded no fewer than 340 cases of wives beating their husbands to submission. Wow. And this is in the last 1 year. So this is a period between September 2022 and July 2023. We have the Executive Secretary, Lagos Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, Mrs. Titi Lola Vivo Adeni. She says that this has become like a trend. You know, it's something they're noticing that's becoming quite popular, and that they're working on it, you know, to curb this trend. Said it's quite worrying, but they're currently handling the cases with the aim to find amicable solutions to the issues. The Lagos State government, through a joint task force, will be implementing the executive order on safeguarding and childhood protection. And so they'll be going to 6 education districts within the state. So this monitoring or exercise that is happening is like spot assessment to make sure that schools are providing safe environments for children to study in.
Moving on quickly now to the Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story not taken. 322 bodies not discovered in grave site in Anambra, says Truth Commission. It's a Truth Commission. Yeah. 60-year-old retired banker makes first class, wins 8 awards at UI convocation. 80-year-old woman dies in Lagos building collapse. Osun governor suspends CG, appoints Afolabi to act. Splinter group emerges in Edo PDP. And why we are against borrowing to finance 2024 budget, says Finance Minister. Which story?
The Truth Commission. So in Anambra, there's a Truth, Justice and Peace Commission, and there's just a commission that is looking into some of the illegalities that's happened with like illegal debts and things like that happened within the state. So there's this story that's been making the rounds where they're claiming that 322 bodies were found at a particular grave site. So Bianca Ojukwu, who is the secretary to that commission, is saying that it is misrepresented, that there are 322 bodies or deaths that have happened or people that have been killed, you know, that were discovered during the course of this commission. But the number of people in the gravesite that they have found cannot be ascertained yet, as forensic investigation is still ongoing. So to put that whole number to the gravesite is being disingenuous. So that's what she's saying.
So we have a few good story. A 60-year-old retired banker, Farouk Sanni, my best graduating student of sociology.
Went back to school?
Yes, at the University of Ibadan with first-class honors.
Interesting.
He had studied accounting in Ile-Ife. He said this was forced on him by his parents. So he had
the accounting was forced on him.
Yes, by his parents. So when he was done, he read that for them. And so when he retired from banking, he thought, okay, this is a good time to do what I would love. So he went back to school to read sociology, and he was in school with 2 of his kids. He would take them to school, drop them off, and then, you know, go to pick them up from lecture halls. And also in his own department, lecturers were attesting to the fact that he had a special chair where he used to sit, comes to class, you know. He said he also liked the fact that some of his classmates called him daddy. And some just say Mr. Sanni, but you know,
the children dare not misbehave in that school because daddy is right there.
All right, final paper, The Guardian. Let's just see how sachet alcoholic drinks breed alcoholism and thwart national development. It's an interesting story to read, I'm sure. 2 commissioners abstain as Ondo ESCO passes vote of confidence on Akeredolu. And service shutdown imminent as USSD debts hit 200 billion naira. You have a story?
Yeah, I had that story. The chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecommunication Operators of Nigeria said that there's been a slow negotiations between telcos and the banks, and that the debt has continued to rise, and there will be no negotiation that would mean the debt to be forgiven. It won't be. That it will also affect the quality of service that will be delivered. The USSD is unstructured, let me quote it right, but we all know unstructured supplementary service data services. And these, between banks and telcos, the tune of debt has risen to 200 billion. And the telcos are saying, 200 billion naira, we're not going to forgive the debts. Negotiations slow would mean services are slow because the impact of this money is not being available is impacting our business.
This has been ongoing through the year. I've taken many of these stories, and it seems like
they've been hoping that they will negotiate and maybe they will say wipe off the no.
Okay, let's go on a quick break now. We'll come back. We'll move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.